Hey folks, welcome back to the farm. Today we're going to make people's favorite thing they like to eat during the Super Bowl or watching the Super Bowl, chicken wings. But we're going to do it our way. And stick around, we'll show you how to make the best wings you've ever had. Now around Super Bowl time, if you go to the store and you try to find chicken wings, you're probably going to be out of luck. They're pretty scarce during this time of year because everybody buys them up because that's like the favorite thing to eat for Super Bowl. So we're going to give you a little twist on this, the way I like to do it. And it turns out really good. And if there's no chicken wings in the store, chances are you'll still be able to buy what we're going to use. What I like to use is boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And I get these in the frozen section. They're individually frozen. We thawed them out so they're ready to go. So we'll show you how we prepare these. All right, we've got our chicken thighs. We've rinsed them real good. And we've got everything in paper towel. We're putting them back on paper towel because we want to dry them as much as we can. So take your thigh and you're going to cut it into pieces that are your normal wing size. So if you look there, that's about the size that you would get in like a chicken wing. And we want to do that to all the pieces. We're going to throw them over here on this paper towel lined plate. And we'll do that to all of our thighs. Now the reason we use thighs and not like chicken breast is because chicken breast will get really dry and is not really conducive to making these boneless chicken wings. The thighs work really well because they stay moist, and it's a lot better product when you're done. So I'll keep cutting these and I'll come back when we got them all done. There's our thigh pieces cut into wing size portions. You want to make sure your portions are very similar in size. That way they cook about the same rate. You don't want bigger pieces cooking, having to take a little bit longer because then not everything's done. Now inherently with these boneless pieces of chicken, you're going to have little pieces of chicken that are hanging on them because of the deboning process. But don't waste that. Put it in a stir fry or whatever. I'm going to cook these up and we're going to treat the pups with these. Okay, we've got our boneless sections back in the bowl we started in. You can do that because it's still raw chicken. You're not cross-contaminating anything. After the chicken's cooked, though, don't put it back in the same pan, obviously. Make sure it's washed or use a different pan. So we dried these off really good with paper towel again as we were putting them into this dish. So now we're going to go in with some olive oil. You can use any kind of oil you want. We'll do the job. We want just enough to coat them. So we're going to get in here with our hands now. And you might say, well, why did you make sure those were really dry and then put liquid back on them? Well, we want a little bit of oil on these. It'll help them crisp up. It'll keep them from drying a little bit. Not that they'll dry too much anyway because they are thighs. But it also helps our seasoning to stick. So that'll work. So I'll come in here with my other hand, grab my seasoning jar, and we'll put some of my favorite seasoning on here. And then we'll kind of roll them over a little bit with that also. Let them kind of marinate a little bit. And then another little sprinkle. Give these wings some good flavor. There you go. Now I'm going to cook these in the air fryer, but I'm going to let these sit for a little bit, let them take in some of those spices. And while they're sitting, we're going to create the best dipping sauce for wings ever, and that's blue cheese dressing. So we're making our homemade blue cheese. There's a cup of good mayonnaise in here, you know the brand. And to that I added 5 ounces of really good blue cheese. And then we're going to go with a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. You don't need to add salt because there's salt in that cheese. We're going to stir this up real quick, and then we'll show you the next step. There's our mixture. Now some of you folks are going to think I'm crazy, but I like blue cheese in my blue cheese. If you don't like that much, cut back. So now we've got that mixed together. We're going to add just enough buttermilk to thin out our mix, just to where you like it, whatever consistency you like. Okay, there's our mix right there. Now for dipping, I mix it a little bit thicker than I do for like salad. If you're doing this for salad, you would want to use probably, I don't know, I used about, I would say, a 1/2 cup in here. You might want to go just a little bit more if you're putting it over a salad. But I like it to stick to my wings, so that's as far as we're going with that. All right, let's get our wings put in the air fryer, get them going. Got our chicken wings going in the air fryer. We're going to cook them at about 400 degrees. We're going to check them in about 8 to 10 minutes, and then we'll flip-flop the trays. And then we'll cook them till they're done. When they firm up real nice, that's when they're done. Okay, time to make our wing sauce. So start out with a cube of butter, and you can scale this recipe up and down. So if you're doubling it, tripling it, you'll use obviously 1 stick of butter for every time that you make it larger. So we're going to melt this, and then we're going to get some garlic in here. We've melted our stick of butter, or 1/2 cup, on a low heat, and to that we're going to add about 2 cloves worth of minced garlic, and we're going to flavor that butter up. And then what we're also going to do is we're going to add a 1/2 tablespoon of flour. Now that's the secret ingredient. Most of your wing sauce recipes don't call for that. But if you've ever noticed when you make wing sauce how it doesn't really stick to the wings, this is going to give it a little bit of thickness, kind of a little thickener, and it'll help that sauce stick to the wings. Sounds like our air fryer has turned itself off for that first 8-minute period. Now the next thing we're going to add is 2 tablespoons worth of your favorite hot sauce. Most people will use like Frank's, which Frank's is one of my favorite. Some people will use Tabasco, Tapatio, whatever your favorite sauce is. I've used Frank's here and a little bit of our homemade habanero sauce, but it comes out to 2 tablespoons, and we'll mix that up. You don't want to bring this to a boil. You just want to get it warm, basically. If you do, just to a simmer and then stop. If you cook it too hard, your butter's going to separate. It probably will anyway, but once it starts cooling down, you can whisk it right back together. We're going to turn our fire off because that looks good. Got a little bit of thickness to it, as you can see. That's what we want. And as this cooled, we'll just keep it whisked up. Just like that. There's your wing sauce. We're going to pull these wings out, flip them around. We're going to put them in for another 8 minutes. We're going to go about 8 minutes at a time until these babies are done. Got our pup treats done. Put a little spice on those because the pups like a little flavor too. Pups! Sit. Everybody's got to sit. There you go, Ruby. There you go, Brandy. What do you think of those? Isn't that yummy? Good stuff. Good girls. Waiting for your treats, all nice like. There you go, all done. That yummy? Do you approve? Brandy's wagging. Now I'll tell you on this recipe, folks, like I tell you on any other of my recipes, you can go crazy with this. I suggest you try it, this base recipe first, but in the sauce you can go as crazy as you want. You can put other aromatics in there. You can do some onions or herbs or whatever to make it your own. Add the flavors that you enjoy. That's what cooking's all about. Look at those babies. They took right at 3 rounds of 8 minutes, so 24 minutes. So you could probably do 12 and 12. Would probably work just fine. Let's get these in a bowl. There's our wings, beautifully cooked. I don't try to cook them too long to where they dry out. I like them to be just a little bit juicy, but they're good and cooked. So let's get a little sauce in here. You can see our sauce, nice and thick. So let's get that in here. Beautiful color. Smells amazing. So let's toss these babies. Just going to take the bowl and toss them, or you can just put some tongs in there and stir them around. All right, you see how that sauce sticks to the wings and doesn't just run to the bottom of the bowl? That's going to be fantastic. We're going to let these cool a little bit because right now they'll burn my face off if I try to eat them. Now, if this isn't your only appetizer, this would probably be good for like 4 people. If you're doing it for a big crowd, obviously double, triple, whatever the recipe, you can cook these in your barbecue or in your oven even. Put them on a rack, like a cooling rack inside of a big cookie sheet. And you can cook a lot more at a time. Cook them at 400 degrees. You probably don't need to flip them around because they're all in the same sheet. Unless you got 2 sheets in the oven, then you can flip those around. But it should take right near about the same amount of time on 400 degrees, probably 24 minutes or so, or whatever your likeness is. If you like them a little more crispy on the outside, but then you take the chance of getting them dry on the inside, which you don't want to do. So sauce is another thing you can change up. Obviously, you're not locked into this sauce recipe. You can do barbecue sauce. You can do like a garlic parmesan or whatever. You can do that sweet Thai chili sauce that we make would be really good on that. But if I use a sweeter sauce, I would probably caramelize that onto the wings, which would be really good. But again, go crazy. Well, look at that. Doesn't that look just absolutely amazing? I cannot wait to dig in. It's yummy time. Let's get in here. Oh, lost that big piece of blue cheese. Can't do that. Folks, I cannot even explain to you how good this is. That very tender, juicy chicken with that good spice on it and that fantastic sauce and that blue cheese brings it back down. Oh, spicy, creamy goodness. Folks, these are the hands down the best wings you'll ever eat in your life. I love making these. I don't make them enough. I really don't. Now, Kelly doesn't eat these because they're hot. So I'm going to have to figure out what to do with this plate of wings here. But we'll probably come up with something. All right, folks, that's another fantastic recipe in the books that we hope you try because it's just going to knock your socks off. Now, if you wanted to make like the Flintstone wings, you would use the drums, the chicken drums, the legs. Obviously, you want to marinate those a little bit longer and adjust your cooking time. But that's how you would make your Flintstone wings. So, until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. Going to make my prediction. I think the 49ers are going to lose the Super Bowl. Sorry. That's just my prediction. So come back and see us here on Markelly Farm. We love you guys.